Hey, 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 it's good to be back after our July 4th hiatus last week.
It seems like it's been forever.
Yes.
These people have missed us, I hope. But now we're back.
We are back.
And it was nice actually to have a little break.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
But we have not been idle.
Oh my goodness.
We have been busy
very
doing all the things, including making videos, which I hope that you've watched or seen. We're going to let people file in here as this begins, and we're going to start talking about all things carnivore. I have binged on the carnivore content.
He did.
And I am ready to talk about it. And there's a tweet that I want to talk about from Dr. Fung.
Oh.
And Ben Bickman.
Now, Dr. Fung was very critical in my proper human diet journey.
Yeah, tell me more.
Because I started paleo years ago with my whole gluten intolerance issue. So that was sort of my first foray. Right. But then we kept some of the principles, like eating sweet potatoes. But we certainly ventured from the paleo diet. Well, then when my integrative doctor talked about metabolism, that was the first thing he did, was tell me about intermittent fasting. So that was where I really started dipping my toe into what my insulin was doing and really considering that. And Dr. Fung, his stuff is like the Bible for that,
He's definitely the entry point for fasting for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we had his early book. I don't remember what it was called, but
I'm
I think we both read that one.
Yeah, but I read two of his books, and that is what actually led me to carnivore, because when I understood the insulin piece and I wasn't losing weight, and as I've said, even on carnivore, it took me many months to lose weight, but I understood what was happening, and I knew I needed to take that next step beyond intermittent fasting to actually lower my insulin so my body could heal and I could release the weight. Yeah. So he was very instrumental.
He's a nephrologist.
Yes.
Kidney doctor.
Yes.
I don't know why it's called nephrologist, but my understanding is that kidney doctors, they have to be very smart because it requires an analytical mind.
Yes. Yes. Well, we have people filing
Obesity code. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. And yes. Yes. So I want to extend a warm welcome to you all. Most of you who are here right now know I'm JJ. I'm a life coach, and I do eat mostly meat.
And I'm Eric, and I claim to be a novelist, and I, in fact, am working on my next novel.
You are.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I also eat basically only meat and microbes in the form of some fermented foods.
Yes.
And when it comes to that, we have a small update. Now, JJ has notoriously weak fingernails.
Oh, yes.
But for some reason, since starting the ferments, she's become Wolverine.
I've been telling him the last few weeks. So when did we start adding the ferments? Was that the end of May?
End of May, yeah.
Yeah. So I've started telling him, oh, my nails are stronger, but I'm not holding my breath because I've had them get stronger in the past, and then they all snap off within 48 hours and I'm left with nubs. And no, they're hanging on. I can't even believe it.
This is, let me inspect. This is the longest your thumbnail has ever been that I've seen.
Yeah.
Because it protrudes beyond the fleshy pad of the thumb.
Yeah.
And it never gets there with her.
You have amazing nails no matter what you eat.
Yeah, I've just been blessed with thick fingernails.
Yeah, so I can only think that it's that, because carnivore, I feel like it helped my toenails a little bit. But yay, so glad to have better toenails. And mine didn't have fungus or anything like that. But yeah, this is remarkable. And it's been, like I said, a couple weeks of them not snapping off. So I think they're going to stay. I don't know.
Well, fingernails crossed.
Yes.
Right? Curtis is here. He said, before we even started, nobody likes waiting.
You least of all, Eric.
I have been known to be accused of having low patience. Darth Carnivore is here. Good evening from Indianapolis.
Hello.
We're going to talk about Indiana in a little bit, briefly. Bumbleberry,
Good to see you.
good to see you back. Laura Mead, hello,
Laura.
down in Florida.
Ooh.
It's wonderful seeing you here. Sue said she missed us because we missed last week because it was the 4th of July.
Yes.
Bumbleberry's from Vancouver, British Columbia. Michelle is here from Southeast Pennsylvania. Alan is here. He's got a question. Hey, all, Texas in the house. What do you think about salad? We think that it is. We think salad is toxic, Alan.
Yes.
So we don't need to be chastised.
I was going to say, okay, let me start with this since we've got Alan up. Okay. So I have been under the weather the last 2 days. And usually I can point to something I've eaten, perhaps a salad. I've been off salads, totally off salads for a long time. So it's a little frustrating because I want something to point to, but I really don't have no clue why I've been off the last couple of days, except for that we have you brought up, we have had some really busy times here, but it's not salad. So I was thinking of you. If I was like, if I come on and say I'm under the weather, I want to make sure to say it has nothing to do with anything I've been eating.
Joss K, hello from northwest suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, they're in our neck of the woods.
That sounds like it's close to IKEA. Curtis says, I really like your and Dr. Fung's books, obviously for different reasons. If you want to know everything about diet and fasting, none of my books are for you.
No.
Kevin Humble is here. Hello from lovely Los Gatos, California.
Los Gatos.
I love saying Los Gatos. So we had a comment on one of our videos. I like how you said that, JJ, you can't stop doing carnivore even if not all the things have healed, because you know that doing carnivore is so good for you. My vision relapsed after the 3rd month, but everything else continued to heal, so I keep going. Just the simple fact that I no longer snack on any snacks, it's a win.
It is a win. Very cool. Yeah.
And that was from our last live that somebody watched on replay, which all of you should do. Once we're done, you can put it on mute, but just play it. And then I think, did I have another? I did have another comment, but I'm limited by StreamYard of how many I can load. So I sacrificed it. So how many of you saw this video? Let me make sure I bring up the correct one that we released 2 weeks ago. Keto versus carnivore, 10 reasons why carnivore works better.
I think Darth Carnivore saw it.
I know he did because he commented on it.
Yep.
Actually, don't test me because a lot of people commented on it and I can't remember everybody who might have done that.
Yeah.
My guess is that most of you saw it. And the reason I guessed that is because you can see it has 11,000 views. Now, this for us is a huge, huge, huge hit video for us. And we want to thank you all for your support because it's been a slow 2025.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to get that validation.
Yes.
So thank you again. And if you haven't seen it, well, what are you waiting for?
Don't go now.
You know what we're going to say, though. 10 reasons why carnivore works better.
For us.
Yeah, for us. And a bonus 11th one that's good for keto or carnivore.
Yeah.
So thank you again. You know what? We talk about Dr. Boz here frequently, and I don't watch all of her videos because like sometimes it's about women's hormones and I couldn't care less about it. But I had to watch this one, what you need to know before trying the egg fast.
Yes.
Now it's a short video, it's worth watching, but the reason it caught my attention was because I had never heard of an egg fast.
Really?
Never.
Oh.
And so I was like, I've heard of the sugar diet and I've heard of sardine fast because she's big on that. But I was like, what's the egg thing? And she explained it. You eat a lot of eggs.
But one of the reasons she was, one of the many reasons she was not thinking it was the best idea is because as Chris Cooking Nashville shows us, you can do so much with eggs. Actually, Bella shows us you can do so many things with eggs that might trigger like sweetness and all sorts of things. Like just, yeah.
And that was actually the point of the video, was that she thinks they're harder to moderate if you have a tendency to want to overeat delicious eggs, whereas sardines are kind of self-limiting because once you're full, you don't really want to eat more little fish bodies.
Yeah.
So definitely worth a watch. I enjoyed that one.
She did a video, or her normal Tuesday Night Live this week too, that I really enjoyed, because she is a big proponent of exogenous ketones as a way to, she says ketones beget ketones. So if you have ketones in your system, your body is more likely to start producing ketones sooner. And she's the only one I've really heard talk about that. A lot of people in the ketovore or keto world talk about how then you're not burning your own. And I get that physiology, but in that video, she goes in depth on it and explains it for the first time that I've personally heard. And so I found it very interesting. And I do take exogenous ketones on occasion for my mental clarity, mental health. And I've upped it after that video because, I've mentioned here before, I have not been doing fasting, and my eating window is a little longer right now because I've been doing a real period of trying to lower my cortisol, not stress the body, make sure I'm well nourished, etc. And so after watching that video, I'm like, okay, during this time is a perfect usage of the exogenous ketones more regularly than I was.
She has those sour ones.
Yes, is that what you're up? Yeah. They don't trigger sweet, I can tell you that.
No, I had it once and that was enough. But I suppose if I needed to boost ketones, either I would take MCT or I would try
which she mentions as well. Yeah, she mentions
she also sells
she does sell
MCT
all the things.
Pills.
She does.
And I did do a phase of that where I was taking MCT oil as a experiment. Let me I want to talk about this Dr. Fung tweet. It's actually it's kind of weird. It was a Dr. Tro post that Ben Bickman reposted on X. And it was basically, there was a study that showed that calories in, calories out didn't fare as well as low carb for fatty liver resolution. And then Ben Bickman said, well, one problem with calorie-centric model of obesity is that it fails to account for the signal. All the parts of the body need to know when to use or store carbons. We don't eat calories, he wanted to point out, in their proper turn. And that signal is hormones. What he didn't say explicitly is the main hormone is insulin. And then Dr. Fung saw this and replied, the problem with the term calorie deficit is that it can never exist. The energy balance equation is a balanced equation, meaning there are three variables that must be balanced. If you eat fewer calories, but the hormones don't allow calories to be released from the stores in body fat, then balance is achieved by reducing calorie expenditure. And so that's that idea that if you just don't take in enough energy, your body will lower your output by making you tired and lower your body temperature. And so, but why would this happen? Well, if you're doing reduced calorie eating and it's primarily carbs, your insulin stays high. And by the mechanism, I guess, of the Randall cycle, that locks the door on adipose tissue. And so you can't have lipolysis. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. And I got it all through osmosis by just being exposed to this over and over and over again through 1 million hours of YouTube. But the point being is that he's saying this in the short term, obviously. So from the practical standpoint of someone with fatty liver, doing lower calories is not as effective because those lower calories will tend to be in someone with fatty liver high in carbs. and therefore it will shut the door to releasing the fat. And obviously, if you are able to maintain that for long enough, eventually insulin will go down, and when that will unlock. But before that happens, what are you going to burn if you need to burn some of your body tissue? Muscle. So you're going to have a catabolic energy production, which is not good. So anyway, I thought it was a really interesting exchange and had a lot of content in which to think about the whole idea of calories versus hormones in managing fat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that extremely boring or was that interesting? Because I loved saying it, and I'll only know on the replay whether it made any sense.
Sounded good to me.
But the problem is I only watched the replay on mute. Oh, let's catch up with the chat. Let's see. Melanie, I didn't see that video. I don't know how I missed it. I will take a look. Yeah, the keto versus carnivore video is well, I'd like to say that it's great. It's basically this here.
Yeah.
Curtis says, I just saw the Dr. Boz video in my feed earlier today. I have not had a chance to watch it yet. Well, it's a quick watch. Darth Carnivore.
Oh, Kelly Hogan. I was trying to remember who's the one who talks about egg fasts the most, I think. And it's actually Kelly Hogan.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
I've never heard her talk about it, but I have not seen every video. I know I'm a bad carnivore. Many times these different fasts stretch the meaning of the word.
Yes.
Almost need a new phrase like no food fasting.
Imagine that.
Yeah, fair.
Yes.
Fair. Fish bodies. Not sure why, but that was really funny.
I get to live with him.
Yeah, I'm a constant source of entertainment. Don't worry, you sounding like you know what you're talking about won't fool us.
Says the man who's read your fiction.
Yeah. Alan says, Richard Smith is the brains on ketones. Taking ketones stops the body's production of ketones unless taken with MCT oil or powder. Interesting.
I have been doing one dose with the MCT.
And Luis says, hello there.
Hey, Luis.
Hello. Welcome. Good to see you.
Or is it Louis?
Yeah. Is it Louis?
Or Lewis?
Anita, ketogenic woman, also does a lot of metabolic resets like egg and sardine challenges.
Yes.
Speaking of, why don't we just transition? Did you see us try to make Pemmican? Inspired by Anita's Pemmican making video. And this also did reasonably well. So thank you guys if you did watch it. This video the concept was we will try to make it and we will document what happens. Mm-hmm. And what happened?
Well, the first batch was a bit of a fail.
I think I said, ah.
I think you did.
It was so bad.
I still ate some. I got some of it down, but
and so we had to do a version 2, which was the second half of the video where we made it, and it was successful.
Yes. Well, the first one we listened to AI on some stuff too, and AI was not. We watched Anita and then had AI fill in a few things, and it was not correct.
The thing about AI is we're right at that point where it can be very useful until you start believing it, and then you trust it one step too long, and it does you wrong. And you put too much tallow in your beef powder or your beef chunks. What it was.
No, but I was really the second batch we did really well, and
it was, even though it had the grass-fed tallow, which was a little strong, we refrigerated those, and they were pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. And the net cost way cheaper than buying carnivore bars.
Which I have another use for carnivore bars, by the way, or our own Pemmican, except we're out of our own right now. When I'm feeling under the weather and feel like I can't eat a steak, but I start to get a little peckish, a carnivore bar goes down pretty easily. Yeah.
Doesn't require a lot of chewing.
No.
It sort of just kind of falls apart. But I am currently dehydrating another batch of ground beef in order to make probably 1.5 carnivore bars. It just takes so much to make so little.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the trick, which I think Alan in the comments mentioned in the comments of that video, the dried beef has got to be blended into a powder, not granules, and definitely not flakes. And if you can get it to a powder, you're home free.
Yeah. So thank you, Alan.
And then I talk a lot about Sean O'Mara on here because I'm just kind of into his content and the visceral fat thing and some of the ferments and sprinting. I did another sprinting session a few days ago.
You've been really consistent with that, and you started slowly this time.
I did, in order to not get injured.
Yeah.
And so my warm-up is longer than the sprint sessions in order to keep that being the case. But anyway, he talks about there being one radiologist in the world who can look at the MRIs and read them for visceral fat. And I was like, well, that's not very helpful. We need more of them. But what was interesting was she came up in a video with Jesse Chapas. And her name is Dr. Anna Rosa. And she kind of walks through how her journey into, meeting Sean O'Mara, learning about visceral fat, reading these MRIs and interpreting them, and then applying the learning to herself. And so it's an interesting way to hear his sort of Sean's kind of story through a different lens. That was me trying to do a intersection of two different doctors. And it's quite good. Obviously it's long. You can put it on 1.5 speed and get through it in 90 minutes. No, less than that. But I do recommend that one. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Keisha's here, just watching the video with Jenny Middich and Emmer. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Let's just talk about it. So I was late to y'all's video. Reminds me sometimes I love high fat, then lower. Do y'all cycle? Where is that one? It's here.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're talking about this video.
Mm-hmm.
And is too much fat hurting your health? Lipotoxicity in keto. And I had actually heard Jenny talk to Dr. Nadir Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes, I think so.
About this a few weeks ago. And I was like, interesting. And then this was sort of a reinforcement of a very specific metabolic case that some people get into.
Yeah.
And I felt like I might be sort of on the edge of this.
They didn't talk about
it. I didn't quite meet all of the criteria for it.
But this is what I mentioned to you. So I've done the Emmerich's coaching certification. So I am very aware of their perspective on this. And they always prioritize protein. And they are very anti-eat a stick of butter. And I don't know that I fall in line completely with that. Yet I understand their PSMF, protein sparing modified fasting, and I get it. So it's really interesting to hear this. And we've met Jenny and Goran, her husband, and I was wondering a little bit of the same for you. And I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. I think it was after I watched the other video, that you're not a person who apparently has a lot of fat cells, because you tend to be a leaner looking person. Even when you're carrying weight, you don't gain a ton of weight. You don't gain 100 pounds.
No.
Right. So I wondered if this was part of the equation for you, because your fat cells, the fat cells that you have, once they get full, the only place for the fat to go is to be in the blood.
Yeah.
Right.
And then hence high triglycerides.
Yeah. So I did wonder, but you don't have the high insulin. You don't exactly meet that.
Yeah. It doesn't quite add up. But it was very interesting, and it's definitely worth a watch.
And I definitely think that the protein sparing modified fasts, and he mentioned they're very careful of saying you only do it 1 or 2 days a week. But I definitely think that's a lever that one could pull pretty easily, and that's a day where you eat high protein, high protein, very low fat, and obviously no carbs, or as close to as possible. But again, you only do that 1 to 2 days a week. It's not a long-term thing.
To answer Keisha's question, do y'all cycle with fat? And the answer is we've experimented. Yes. I don't tend to cycle. I know now that I'm better at a slightly lower fat per day than sort of the 70-30 that a lot of people do.
I do a little bit of cycling, but it's not planned. It's not at all like, oh, I'm going to do 30 days on, 30 days off, or anything like that. I really listen to my body. And so, for instance, in April, I went pretty high fat for most of that month because I was having some hormonal issues that I felt like I needed to bring in a little more fat for my hormonal fuel.
And actually, to go back to the lipotoxicity idea, which is, I don't know that that's a proven thing. I think Nadir Ali has seen it clinically, and that's kind of the model he's using. But when I was encouraged to do a test of like 80% of calories from fat versus 20% from protein, carnivore, I didn't feel great. My resting heart rate went way up, and my triglycerides shot through the roof. And upon review of that, I was counseled, don't do that. And basically what the assessment was is you do not seem to be able to clear fat.
Yes.
Like people typically do. And so spread your fat over multiple meals across your eating window. And so that's what I've been doing.
That's, you saying clear the fat. Let me just pause for a second before I go into that. So after April, though, I've just not wanted much fat. Yeah. I've not been adding butter.
Does warmer weather, do you think, makes you want a little bit less?
I don't know. So, but clearing the fat, that reminds me, this happened shortly before I started carnivore. Like I started carnivore October of 2022. And at the end of the month, earlier in the month, I got my test results back from Zoe.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right? Yeah. And I don't follow Zoe now. They're very plant centric. So I can't even really tell you the whole thing. But at the time I was trying to figure out anything to help my health, right? And that was some sort of a test you could do. And one of the it tested your microbiome. That was one thing. And also how well your blood sugar regulation was and your fat clearance. And my Zoe results came back that I was very good at clearing fat. So that I if I'm remembering correctly, I think that did give me a little bit of comfort or something as when I did decide to move into carnivore. I was like, well, apparently I clear fat well. But again, I don't know the metrics. I don't remember it very well, except I do remember that fat clearing. So
but I mean, it seems to tie in with the lipotoxicity concept that some people, maybe my fat cells just don't want to add fat.
Yeah.
And it just tends to float free.
Yeah.
I got thick, fat blood that floats. Oh, that's funny. Curtis says, AI, artificial, not so intelligent. It is improving rapidly and it shocks me daily, but sometimes it shocks me in a bad way. And eventually it will literally shock us all. When we misbehave, we'll get a little that's humor. I don't know if it probably wouldn't go to that effort, or it might just do it once and make it count. Melanie says, I did see the Pemmican video. I kept thinking that considering the work involved, I will stick with the beef jerky with no sugar in it, and that I get from Costco. I will say that filming it always at least doubles the work involved. And it did look really involved with all of the rolling pinning. My current version, I abandoned the rolling pin and just mashed it onto the little screens with the edge of a steel pan.
That's the thing. You're very good at finding efficiency.
Yeah, I have a low patience for things I don't like. Imagine that. Darth Carnivore. I like the taste and feel of the salted carnivore bar, but I basically extracted my sweet tooth a while ago, so taste buds are different than those who constantly sweeten their food.
Which, yeah.
We put fake honey in 2 batches of it. And I'm glad we put it in the grass-fed tallow version, but I think this version will use the grain-fed tallow, which is milder, and we'll leave the sweetener out and try it with a little salt because I don't think it needs it. I can't even really taste it.
No. I do think it did with that tallow, the stronger tallow. I think it attenuated that a little bit because I was the one who tried it pre honey and post honey, and it did help with that a little bit.
Alan said it was a great Pemmican video. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And earlier he said, I learned from you, Eric. Great job explaining.
I like how you pass right over.
I didn't want to pass that one. I just misclicked. For some reason, I always thought the acronym was PMSF instead of PSMF.
It's a tricky one.
Protein sparing.
PMS female.
Okay, we'll move on. Hello, Jugatsu 13.
Hello.
It's good to see you waving. So, speaking of AI, has anybody seen this? This is pretty new, right? This came out yesterday?
This week. I don't know.
So Dr. Barry is like, ChatGPT will destroy the vegan diet. And so basically what he does is he teaches you how to prompt ChatGPT to basically disregard all of the popular conventional wisdom and only reply based upon what's basically scientifically known or something. And then it will ask it these diet-based questions. It's actually probably more amusing than it is helpful, but I got a kick out of it.
But leave it to Dr. Barry. When I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, he is the one who is doing this.
Yeah, I could imagine him arguing with ChatGPT. Not that I've ever done that.
No, not at all.
But it's a fun watch.
It is fun.
And then I just got done watching this one before we were done. Tony Hampton talking about salt loading and how to know you were doing it right for keto and carnivore. And I saw the title and I'm like, I've never heard of salt loading before. So I didn't know if that was a term that's common in our community, and I've just been not listening because that's a thing.
I think I've heard it around Steak and Butter Gang a little bit, and I might be wrong. I've heard it there. I think it might be when they're talking about moving into dry fasting. I think. But
well, in this particular case, it's just that when he went full carnivore, he explains why you tend to lose salt very quickly and that you may not feel that great without enough salt. And so you have to add it back through either putting it on your food and putting it in some water to sip. But the main point of it was you don't want to take a huge amount, concentrated amount all at once, because that will do the opposite of what you want, because that will have an osmotic drawing out of your system, the water into your intestine and cause you to flush it out.
Yes.
And so you want to bring it in slowly and along with it, a bunch of water for it to take with it. And I do know that when the temperature warmed up here this summer, I had been having one salty a day, kind of through the spring and stuff. And then all of a sudden I was outside working, sweating, being hot. And then one day I was like, I'm not feeling great. And I was like, electrolytes, salt. And I slammed a salty. Well, I didn't slam it. I sipped a salty and I felt way better. But I know that I've been listening. Some people are, that 5 grams is not enough for some people, apparently. But on the other hand, I get confused because like Bella doesn't really salt anything for herself. And Dr. Chafee's like, well, you add salt if you want it, but he doesn't seem to do it. So I don't know if he's just hyper adapted to where he holds on to his sodium, and us newbies who've only been doing it for a couple of years just still need to take it
Well,
in.
I will say that I salt much more heavily than you do. And you salted, like I used to be able to salt our steaks the same when we were first early on.
Yeah.
And now you don't.
No, it's too salty.
You don't have the taste for that much
I
salt.
don't like a super salty steak.
No, but at the beginning you were fine.
Was I?
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is a great video. He's actually been putting out a lot more content recently.
I just want to, I wanted to shout out Dr. Hampton as well. And when he first started coming on the scene more, I watched some of his videos. They were fine, just like ours at the beginning, our early ones. But his messaging is tight.
Yes.
He is doing such a fabulous job, and his videos are the ones that I think are so easy to share with other people. Dr. Barry has Dr. Kiltz, wonderful, but they've got their flavor.
Yes.
That's not right for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Dr. Hampton, I think his flavor is right for everyone.
Yeah. Well, to me, the way I interpreted this kind of burst of good content for him was he's like seeing all these patients and he has to tell them the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And now he's building a library of resources that he can point them to these specific how you do this diet. They're nice and tightly focused.
Oh, so good. So good. And when we saw him earlier this year at the Chicago meetup we went to back in January, I think it was. His presentation was also just phenomenal. Just he's really slaying.
So speaking of doctors, carnivore-friendly doctors, I watched this video on Dave Mack's channel. This carnivore doctor breaks ranks, and her name, I wrote it down here because it's not in the title here. It is Dr. Alicia Town, Towne. And I really recommend watching this because it's not super surprising, the story she tells, because it's the same story that all the carnivore docs kind of tell of she sort of tried keto and it started to work and it went against the conventional wisdom and how she thought she was supposed to do things. And then she went carnivore and she saw these nagging problems she had resolve. And it pretty much turned her completely around. And then she talks about how the incentives are stacked against doctors being able to recommend this way of eating, and how, because she's now in a solo practice, she can do that. So it's just a great another doctor, and hopefully she starts doing some content, because I think she should do a YouTube channel. But she's a carnivore doctor in Indiana. She's based in South Bend. And she apparently she's licensed in Indiana, but she can do health coaching outside of it. She can't prescribe anything. So for those of you who are nearby, maybe she could be of use to you. But that was a good interview. And then we've run out. We can't bring up these other images because StreamYard only lets me load 10 of them. Wow. But 2 Dr. Kiltz interviews that were just so good. The first one was Ferrigno Freedom.
I did not see that one
Dante
yet.
Ferrigno. And it's in studio. And I guess they were at some sort of event or something someplace. And because I think they were in Nashville when they recorded that. And I've seen so many of Dante's videos, but it was very interesting to see him in studio across the table from Dr. Kiltz being interviewed, and hearing him talk through his story and talk through his views. Just a really excellent conversation. I think this is a really good format for Dr. Kiltz too.
I didn't see that one. I did see another interview.
Well, why don't you bring it up? Because I think I was the one who was just watching it.
Okay. So I also saw Chris cooking in Nashville along with Ash, his wife. And that video was so good. Listening to their creative approach to how they're bringing the carnivore message to others using their Nashville experience. I've worked with creatives as a coach. And so I have worked with them on how do you bring your voice to your work? And they have done that.
Yeah.
And it feels like, I mean, this is ridiculous for me to even say. It feels like it's accidental, right? They just did it. That's who they are, which is what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
It's supposed to feel authentic, but they were actually very thoughtful in how they approach everything and their reasoning behind why they do what they do. And being in Nashville with all the people who are artists and who need this assistance of this diet too. It just getting that background information was really, really interesting to me.
And Dr. Kiltz was trying to get him to invent a French fry.
Yes.
And he's apparently working on it.
Yep.
But he explained how his carnivore mashed potatoes work. Cause I don't think I watched that video because I just generally don't watch cooking videos.
Yeah.
And when he explained how he does it and that you have to cook the sulfur gas out of the egg yolk, otherwise it's going to taste eggy.
Yeah.
And the whole point was that Ash hates egg flavor in anything that is not an egg. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And so he developed this technique to slowly cook it until all of that cooks out.
Yeah.
And then apparently you blend it.
Yeah.
And it creates this texture. And then he was like some sort of beef gelatin or something that adds an earth tone to it. So he's obviously quite understands how to put together flavors.
Yeah.
To me, it just sounds like wizardry.
Now, I was skeptical of the mashed potato recipe, but then this spring, when it was still cold here in Wisconsin, you were wanting a soup. You were like, oh, I need a soup.
Yeah.
And of course you could do bone broth, but honestly, Eric, while he will do bone broth, he likes a creamy soup. So I searched in Chris's archives, found a live. It's not one of his recipe cards, but I found a live where he made a cream nacho cheese soup out of eggs. And by golly, it worked. It was crazy. So now I have more faith in his mashed potato recipe. And I'm thinking of trying it for us to try, but also to be able to give to my daughter who loves mashed potatoes.
Well, Ash said that some people will argue saying, no, it is mashed potatoes, but it's egg, beef gelatin, and butter.
I don't remember.
It doesn't seem possible.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's worth a try as long as I don't go crazy.
Well, I can tell you, like Ash says, she's had those mashed potatoes like twice. And I'm not going to be making them a whole lot.
It sounds involved, which is probably good.
Yeah.
I think for those types of things, if it requires a lot of effort, it's probably better.
Yeah.
Because then it's not dangerous. And then I did watch another cooking video, though, which was Bella's newest one for breakfast that she makes all the time.
Yes.
And I was very interested in this milk powder crumble thing that she, and I was like, is that powdered milk or is that different than milk powder?
I don't know.
Because she basically puts it, in butter?
Yes.
And then it just kind of cooks into a solid, crunchy, she calls it a cookie. And
she credits the originator of that. It's not her, but I can't remember the name.
And then you can use it for her, whatever the cheesecake thing is as a crust, or you can crumble it and then put it in something else. And I want it, but I'm afraid of it because it might be too tasty.
Yeah.
But it also looked like it takes a long time, so that's a good thing to stop doing.
Yeah.
So let's check in. Where were we here? Jenny's husband may be obese and not exercising much and doesn't need fat. When I was running 65 miles a week, I needed lots of fat to fuel. Lots of variables regarding lipotoxicity.
Yes. And Craig does talk about that a little bit too. Yeah, definitely. He says once you get leaner, you do need more fat generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's come down from, I think she said a high of like 400.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we just saw them at Meatstock, he was dramatically slimmer than we had seen him in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So he's continues to make progress.
Yeah.
But some of those blood markers are really, really, really stubborn. Curtis is enjoying Dr. Hampton videos recently. Yeah. Yep. Charlie recognized Dr. Town was in Indiana. I've been watching a lot of Dr. Sam High's videos lately on Carnivore. He's newer, but I like what he has to say and how that has not come up in my feed. So Dr. Sam is on the list.
I'm interested.
We need more doctors because the current doctors are so cocky now. They need more competition. The good doctors, as Carrie says.
Yes, I love that.
Heart back to you, Jody. Chris is a wizard at his recipe creation.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Papa Carnivore is here.
Hey, hello, and welcome.
Yep. It's low-fat milk powder.
For the cookie.
Yeah, I know. I just never heard of this product until Bella mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh. Deborah Clark says, hi, new to your channel. Well, welcome.
Welcome.
We're delighted to have you.
Yes.
And asks, do you recommend lower fat or higher fat if you need to lose 50 plus pounds?
That is a tricky one.
Yes. And I say that not to be flip, but it does require some personal experimentation to figure out and dial it in.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, people are going to recommend, if you're new to carnivore, to do a higher fat carnivore to see what happens.
Yeah. I think even in that interview, Craig mentions, while they aren't fans of huge amounts of butter, that
Craig Emmerich.
Yeah. That if you generally would start there, and that would be your beginning, you do your N of 1. And then if things aren't happening, then you would start to reduce the fat a little bit. And they are not low fat, they are moderate fat, unless you're doing the PSMF days, but the protein sparing modified fast once or twice a week. And this is also very dependent on hormones as well. So being a female, I think, generally speaking, again, huge generalization, we tend to need a little more fat for that hormone health.
Yeah.
But is it a stick of butter? Maybe if you're 25 years old, it is.
And
if you're 55,
she mentions down here 4 months, no weight loss. And so you're very familiar with that.
Yes. Yeah, so my question is, have you 4 months in, I went about 7 months before I lost any weight. And what other healing have you had? I think it's very important to stay focused on what is working. And for me, it was just, I didn't do anything in those 7 months. I didn't change my fat. I wasn't eating overly high or low. I was just sort of a moderate fat. And it just took that time for my liver to move out the glycogen. Is that the correct word?
Sure.
Okay. Move out the glucose out of my liver, but also have some of my liver cells begin to regenerate as well. That is the tricky part, is there's a little bit of epigenetics involved sometimes where your cells actually have to remodel. Yeah. And it can take time for some people.
And we were talking earlier that there is this concept of insulin has to get to a certain personal threshold, and we never know how low that has to get. Because insulin shuts the door to adipose tissue being used for energy. So if it's taking a while for insulin to come down, that's just part of the process. But I will say about her long-term no weight loss, there was body recomposition happening before my eyes.
Yeah.
So while the scale wasn't showing a difference, I do think there was some body fat decrease and muscle mass gain.
Yeah.
Or maybe even bone density. Who knows?
Yeah. So sorry, there's not an easy answer.
No.
But stay the course. And some of the levers you can pull are the fat content, the levers of moving your eating window earlier in the day, which made a huge difference for you with your sleep.
Yep.
Of course, you cut dairy and sweeteners.
Yep.
That was a big lever for you. So I don't know if you're doing dairy or sweeteners. And your eating window, you can shorten. Again, for women, it's not really recommended to do OMADs a whole lot. Some can, but especially if you do have enough fat to lose. But a lot of the experts recommend 2 meals a day for women. But no snacking in between, right? Letting that insulin come down, just like you were talking about. Insulin come down before meals. So those are some levers to play with, and it's an N of 1 experience.
Yeah, we encourage you to stick with it. And have you made other gains? Had you feel better?
Yeah.
Or other things improving?
Yeah.
And focus on those. Because
that's, again, I'm going to say that video again, Craig Emmerich video with Jenny Middich. They are very focused on being healthy. That's the ultimate goal of the weight loss, is to be healthy. And yes, we'd like to look better, but not to do it in a way that is detrimental to our health. So, yeah.
Papa Carnivore says, JJ and Eric, love you guys and your channel. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We love hearing that. Makes me all warm inside. And I don't get warm inside easily.
No.
Have to self-experiment and track to see what works better for you. Yeah, that's good advice from Charlie.
Yep.
Who knows of which he speaks.
Why? Because how much weight has Charlie lost so far?
Over 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Jody says, Jenny Middich has a good video on fat today.
I'll have to check it out.
If I don't keep my fat super high, I get hard stools, but that's me. Yeah.
Yep.
It's so individual.
It is so individual.
Add most of cold butter pieces to my meat and cook my eggs in lots of butter or some of the leftover bacon grease. Yeah, that's what you have to do when you have to get a lot of butter. Otherwise, you are just eating pieces of butter.
Yeah.
And I didn't love doing that.
I don't love that either. I've done it.
Remember, I had my Eaton butter in the refrigerator.
Yes.
I had a very specific brand of unsalted butter. That was my Eaton butter.
You liked the flavor of it a little bit better.
It was good. Vermont.
Oh, that reminds me. When we were at Meatstock, we saw Miller Biofarms there.
Yes.
And they had different raw dairy for cat and dog consumption only that we all tried. I actually didn't try much except the ice cream that they made. So I finally placed an order for them. That was the brisket we had, was from them.
Okay.
So that was nice.
It was good.
But I did order some raw butter. And I ordered the raw spring butter, which is extra special in spring, extra flavor, extra beautiful yellow color. It is strong.
Oh.
It is definitely grass-fed strong butter. So I'm glad I didn't go overboard on that. Bella loves it. It's a little much for me, but I will definitely use it regardless.
Well, it's probably, grass-fed.
Yeah.
That stuff can have a stronger flavor.
I bought a grass-fed and grass-fed spring, and then I bought the regular butter, which is also grass-fed though. So I'll be interested to try that, but first I've got to make my way through the pound of grass-fed that was like $30.
And what are they called again?
Miller Biofarm.
And they can ship because it's for cats and dogs, not human consumption.
Yes.
Like their sour cream that Bella was showing in her video.
Yeah, and they can ship to almost every state. So
because I know our dog would love sour cream. And I would definitely order it online for him in a jar with a label.
And let me tell you, he's not getting any of this butter that I paid $30 for the pound or whatever it was. Not everything is that expensive. That's like boutique spring, so check them out if you're interested. And they have they have also ferments. We have some sauerkraut from them as well that we haven't tried yet.
Sauerkraut? That doesn't sound carnivore, JJ.
It's not carnivore, but it can be ancestral.
I've been eating sauerkraut as a condiment on my steaks, and it's been interesting.
Yeah.
The jury is still out on the ferments for me. I I'm enjoying having a little bit of that with the steak, but the long-term impact, I feel like I need another month or two.
Yeah,
to
agreed.
really assess what's happening with that.
It's a slow thing.
We continue to make the fermented dairies with half and half using L-reuteri, Gaceri, and Subtilis, which is the Dr. Davis SIBO yogurt concept. We finally had a bad batch of reuteri turn up that was funky, so that had to be tossed, and we have to start over.
Yeah. But yeah, we're continuing to do that, moderating it, not eating much of it at all.
Small doses.
And yeah, like he said, the jury is still out. It takes a while.
Just Curtis is saying, I think Bella took 7 months to lose weight.
Oh, really? Oh, that sounds right. I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
And Jody says, I think OMAD is dependent on couple in their 70s have done OMAD for years and do well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's individual. I've tried OMAD, and so far I have been unsuccessful at eating enough during the OMAD to not be really hungry. So I get satiated quick.
Mm-hmm.
And so it hasn't quite worked.
I've done OMAD on occasion, but my integrative doctor highly wants me to do 2 a day.
Yeah. Just made a 10-pound pork shoulder roast in my crock pot last night. Nice and fatty and delicious. Got it on sale for 69 cents a pound. Entire roast cost only $6.25.
We have some pork shoulder. I should make that up.
I
don't know if you'd eat it alone as the meal, but as the side. You're not a huge pork person.
Maybe. I don't.
But yeah.
Depends on if it's good. Here, you can take this one. I got to drink some water.
Okay. Deborah says, I've been experimenting. If I eat higher meat, my blood glucose goes high and ketones go lower. Okay. I feel healthy, no medical issues. Did have eczema that has been healed. Congratulations on that. That is huge. Yeah, I would say I would try upping the fat then. Because it seems like the protein might be causing that reaction. So yeah, give it a go.
Yep.
Give it a go. And it still might take a little bit. Yeah.
Papa Carnivore tried OMAD, but just got too hungry. Yeah. So I do 2 meals a day, intermittent fasting, 18:6 or 19:5. Yeah. I was done eating before 4:00 today, I think.
Well,
it was pretty close.
4-ish.
Or 4:30.
Yeah.
4:30, right. Because I had Element after my meal. So
our meals,
flavor.
Yes. Our meals have been slightly later in the summer. That happened last summer too. I do remember that.
Yeah. My sleep does not like it.
I visited my doctor this year.
Good for you.
Did I mention I'm not all here? No, I saw him this week, and what was my point by that? Oh, he asked me all the questions because my weight is up a little bit, not much. It's what I would expect right now because I haven't been doing much. My eating windows have been longer, and I haven't been doing any extended, and by extended, I mean 24 to 48 hour fasts. I've done none lately because I want to keep my cortisol low. So it was up a little bit. So he went through the whole spiel with me. Have you had any carb creep? No. Have you, when are you should get done eating. I said, I'm done eating by 5 every night, but 5 is a little later for us. But he went through all that checklist. I'm like, nope, I've got it. Check, check, check. I'm doing it all. My meals have not changed. What has changed is my fasting. And it's because I'm working on cortisol, which my cortisol curve was high.
Okay. Still.
Yeah.
You're just wound a little bit tighter.
I am wound. And it's one of those issues I'm working on I'd love to resolve for good. But we'll see. But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing this summer. We'll see. What?
I am editing myself.
Yeah.
27 years of marriage. I learned how to hit this mute button on my brain a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But it was good to be able to say, no, literally, I eat almost this. Like, I've got 3 breakfasts I rotate through, and dinner's always the same. And that's about it.
I really feel like I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
I'm very compliant. And it seems to be paying off.
Mm-hmm.
I feel pretty decent. The only question mark is, how long will I do the ferments?
Yes.
Will that be a permanent install, or will that be something that was an experiment that I decided wasn't worth the effort?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some conversation here. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be at the Montello meetup July 26th. Is that when it is?
I feel like it's the 7th.
26th.
26th.
But it might be the 27th because it's not impossible. I just put it right in the wrong day on the calendar.
It's probably on the Saturday.
Yeah.
It's on this
end of July, Montello, Wisconsin, Healing Humanity meetup at the world famous Montello Theater.
Yes.
Dr. Kiltz will be there. I think Dr. Hampton will be there. I don't know who all else is coming, but we will be there.
It's our 3rd Healing Humanity meetup, I believe, if I'm counting.
And certainly not the last.
Certainly not. But excited to see the theater.
So if you want to attend that, I know that it's ticketed and there are 20 some odd tickets left. When I went through the healinghumanity.com event portal to purchase them.
We are not doing the VIP.
No, we are not. There's a dinner, but that's sold out and we're not going to that. Next week, we will not be doing a live because we will be in Colorado for a wedding.
Yes.
So unfortunately, we're going to have to skip that.
We will literally be at the wedding.
Yeah, during our normally scheduled live.
Yeah.
We will have a new video coming out Monday morning. We've moved to Mondays. I don't know what the topic is.
So you can open the week with us, start the week with us.
That's
on Monday,
right.
And end it on Friday.
Sue is saying, I'm excited you are going to the Montello meetup. My husband and I will be there also. How will she recognize us so that we can make sure to talk to her? Oh, wait, you know what we look like. Will you be wearing this Smokey the Bear eating a steak? Jody's asking, hi, I'm from Colorado. Where's the wedding? It is somewhere between Castle Rock and Colorado Springs at some ranch. That is a wedding
Interestingly,
venue.
A ranch,
it's
though.
An outdoor wedding venue.
Supposedly, we'll be able to see the cows grazing. It seems like
supposedly
they will be there.
I would like to eat those cows. Curtis says he would like to come to the meetup, but not driving yet. And I think that's probably wise. Yeah. Let the brain heal.
It'll be interesting, though. We were talking about our strategy a little bit going into the wedding because we don't know what the food will be. And then I pointed out to you that our window will pretty much be closed before the wedding. So, I mean, we won't totally close it, but we can have whatever meat they serve us. And we'll probably have already had dinner before actually going.
Probably.
So we won't be hungry.
The night before, there's a rehearsal dinner at a Mexican restaurant. And I have not gone to the website to look at the menu to see what we could possibly order that would work. I would like fajitas without any vegetables
or seasoning
or tortillas. So meat and maybe a little cheese.
Yeah.
Sour cream, put a little bit on it. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. And again, though, we'll kind of have probably had our main meal of the day already.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we do need, for some reason, to supplement, we will have carnivore bars on hand.
We will.
And you can get those for 10% off if you use code JJ and Eric at checkout. I have to do the commercial. I don't have to do the commercial. I just like doing it. I don't know why. It just makes me feel good inside. Meanwhile, I'm telling you how I'm making my own. Oh, that's funny. Patrick says, was gaining weight until I quit dairy and my weight came down exactly the same.
Yep.
I was plateaued. I had come down from 206 down to 180. And I stayed at 180 for month after month after month after month after month. And I dropped the dairy and I just 10 pounds.
Yeah. And the good news is, though, you can add dairy on occasion.
On occasion, I have, and obviously the fermented dairy has not caused me any weight gain. But there's the fermenting process, the bacteria consume the carbs. So you're left with some protein and fat for the most part. I was confused, Patrick, because there's another Darth here. But I love seeing the Star Wars references. And I will just say that The Empire Strikes Back is the greatest movie that not only ever made, the greatest movie that ever will be made.
Oh.
So everybody can just stop. There's no need. When that movie exists, what should we watch? There's one answer. The Empire Strikes Back.
It's so funny. When we were younger, our daughter was like 2 years old, maybe verging on 3. And I took her out. She was getting ready I was getting her ready for bed. I took her out to say goodnight to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you were watching one of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
And she was like, what's that robot movie? What's the robot show? And she's not like obsessed. She's not super fan, but she right away took at a very young age.
Well, little kids are open. They recognize genius when they see it. Apparently. And that's why they love me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're a hit with all the kids.
I have a child force field.
He does.
That I can just with my mind keep them at a certain distance.
It was so funny before we were dating and our nephews and stuff, they would literally start walking toward him and they'd get within the radius and they'd veer off.
Which is funny because I'm actually a pretty fun person.
But you don't, not till they get older.
Right.
Now they enjoy you.
Yeah.
All the nephews enjoy
All the nephews are great. I love them. And our daughter.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
She did not have the force field. You did not use the force field on her.
How can you do that to your own daughter when you have to actually bring her within the force field diameter to take care of her?
Yeah.
She's just automatically inside the inside. There's nothing you can do about it. Not that I wanted to do anything about it.
No.
Although the day we brought her home, there's a picture of me with this look on my face of like, what have we done? Because she was in that outfit with the legs that were like 1 foot too long for her actual legs.
She was tiny.
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
Oh,
may the fat be with you. Colleen says, hello from Minnesota. After 10 months, I'm finally losing weight again. It took reading Keto Continuum.
Ah, yes.
Tell me about that.
Congratulations, first of all. Keto Continuum is Dr. Boz's.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Her stepping into keto. And again, it's sort of it's a very systematic approach where you go to the next level. And for her, a lot of the levers you're pushing are around fasting. Once you're keto adapted, it's around how much are you fasting?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, excellent method, I think. Excellent book.
And Colleen agrees that Empire Strikes Back is the best one. Have you seen Bad Lip Reading? They do a song from the movie. No, I have not seen that. I got to write another note. Although lip reading Darth Vader would be kind of hard.
Or easy. It depends which way you look at it.
Yeah, he could say whatever you want him to say.
Yeah, he could say exactly. All right. Anything else on your list?
No, we have completed the list and we have gone over our usual hour. It's been a delight. Thank you guys for coming and joining us and being active in the chat. It makes it so much more fun.
Yes. And next week, we won't be here, as we said, but it may be that Eric actually would rather be here.
Oh, definitely. I don't want to go
here with you.
I want to go to the wedding. I don't want to travel to go to the wedding because I just don't like leaving home. But anyway, it's just been a great couple of weeks on YouTube for us, and we've been delighted and we're very appreciative of your support.
Yeah.
If you haven't liked and subscribed this video, please consider doing that. And if you haven't seen the Pemmican video or the keto versus carnivore video, please check those out. And with that, I'm going to say every day stronger,
every day more blessed.
Their lipids are high, their doctors are worried, they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show! Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from the tallow vat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's